Let's go to the book of Jasher. And when Judah saw the dealings of Joseph with them, Judah approached him and broke open the door and came with his brethren before Joseph. What had happened, Joseph had sent that cup in Benjamin's feed bag and then falsely accused him in order to bring the story about and make them bring their father Jacob to Israel. Judah was mad. And Judah said unto Joseph, Let it not seem grievous in the sight of my Lord. May thy servant, I pray thee, speak a word before thee. And Joseph said unto him, Speak. Now remember, Judah didn't know Joseph was his brother. And Judah spoke before Joseph, and his brethren were there standing before them. And Judah said unto Joseph, Surely, when we first came to our Lord to buy food, thou didst consider us as spies in the land, and we brought Benjamin before thee, and thou still make a sport of us this day. Now therefore let the king hear my words, and I send, pray thee, our brother, that he may go along with us to our father, lest thy soul perish this day with all the souls of the inhabitants of Egypt. Were they cowards? Does thou not know what two of my brethren, Simeon and Levi, did unto the city of Shechem and unto 7 cities of the Amorites on account of our sister Dinah? And also what they would do for the sake of their brother Benjamin, and I with strength, who am greater and mighty than both of them, could come this day upon thee in thy land, if thou art unwilling to send our brother? Hast thou not heard what our God, who made choice of us, did unto Pharaoh on account of Sarah our mother? That was in my last video, Joseph. When whom he took away from our father, that he smote him and his household with heavy plagues. Have you not heard? So where is Judah running and hiding? Where is he doing it? He's not. Now remember, Judah was but one of the 12 tribes of Israel. Don't let anybody tell you it's only the Jews of the 144,000. These people and the seeds were scattered around the world. Has thou not heard? He said, So will our God do unto thee on account of Benjamin, whom thou hast this day taken from his father, on account of the evils which thou this day heapest over us in the land. For our God will remember his covenant with our father Abraham, and bring evil upon thee, because thou hast grieved the soul of our father this day. Now therefore hear my words that I have spoken this day upon thee, and send over our brother, that he may go away, lest thou and thy people of thy land die by the sword, for you cannot prevail over me, man of God. And Joseph answered Judah, saying, Why hast thou opened thy mouth, and why dost thou boast over us, saying, Strength is with thee? As Pharaoh liveth, if I command all my valiant men to fight with you, surely these thy brethren would sink in the mire. And Judah said unto Joseph, Surely it becometh thee and thy people to fear me, and as the Lord liveth, if I once draw my sword, I will not sheathe it again, until I shall this day have slain all of Egypt, and I will commence with thee, and finish with Pharaoh thy master. No fear. And Joseph answered and said unto him, Surely strength belongeth not alone to thee. I am stronger and mighty than thou. Surely if thou drawest thy sword, I will put it to thy neck and the necks of all thy brethren. And Judah said unto him, Surely if I this day open my mouth against thee, I will swallow thee up, that thou be destroyed off the earth, and perish this day from thy kingdom. No fear. And Joseph said, Surely if thou openest thy mouth, I have power and might to close thy mouth with a stone, until thou shalt not be able to utter a word. See how many stones are before us. Truly I can take a stone and force it into thy mouth and break their jaws. Now, that wasn't going to happen. Why? Judah had no fear. He knew he had God on his side, and he was going to stand and fight. And Judah said, God is witness between us, that we have not hitherto desired to do battle with thee. Only give us our brother, and we will go from thee. And Joseph answered and said, As Pharaoh liveth, if all the kings of Canaan came together with you, you should not take him from my hand. Guys, and they went on and argued back and forth here. Joseph tried to give Judah the cup, say, take this silver. Judah said, you don't have enough money. No man does. He says, we will not leave our brother for the silver, which is found in the hand of any man. Do you think that we won't die for him? And Judah spoke to his brother Naphtali, and he said unto him, Make haste. Go now and number all the streets of Egypt, and come and tell me. And Simeon said unto him, Let not this thing be a trouble to thee. Now I will go to the mount, and take up one large stone from the mount, and level it at every one in Egypt, and kill all that are in it. And Joseph heard all these words that his brethren spoke before him, because they did not know that Joseph understood them. Remember? For they imagined that he knew not to speak Hebrew. And Joseph was greatly afraid of the words of his brethren, lest that they should destroy Egypt. What? Were they going to run and hide and leave their brethren behind? And he commanded his son Manasseh, saying, Go now, make haste, and gather all the inhabitants of Egypt. Now this is Joseph telling Manasseh, Get everybody together. We're about to have trouble. And you can read this, guys, and I want you to read it. I'm not going to read every bit. I want you to read the whole book of Jasher. And all the mighty men came with great storming and shouting. They all surrounded the sons of Jacob and terrified them, and the ground quaked at the sound of their shouting. And when the sons of Jacob saw these troops, they were greatly afraid of their lives. And Joseph did so in order to terrify the sons of Jacob, to become tranquilized, to calm them down, to scare them. And Judah, seeing some of his brother terrified, said unto them, Why are you afraid? Whilst the grace of God is with us. And when Judah saw all the people of Egypt surrounding them at the command of Joseph to terrify them, and only Joseph commanded them, saying, Do not touch any of them. He didn't want to kill his brothers. Then Judah hastened and drew a sword, and uttered a loud and bitter scream, and he smote with the sword, and he sprang upon the ground, and he still continued to shout against all the people. And when he did this thing, the Lord caused the terror. What? The terror of Judah and his brethren to fall upon the valiant men and all the people that surrounded them. You know why? Because they were not cowards. And they all fled at the sound of the shouting. They were terrified, and fell upon the other, and many of them died as they fell. And they all fled from Judah and his brethren, and from before Joseph. And while they were fleeing, Judah and his brethren pursued them into the house of Pharaoh, anywhere, to the depths of hell, if it takes it. And they all escaped, and Judah again sat before Joseph, and roared at him like a lion, and gave a great and tremendous shriek at him. And the shriek was heard at a great distance, and all the inhabitants of Succoth heard it, and all Egypt quaked at the sound of the shriek, and also the walls of Egypt and of the land of Goshen fell in from the shaking of the earth. And Pharaoh also fell from his throne upon the ground, and also all the pregnant women of Egypt of Goshen, and Goshen miscarried when they heard the noise of the shaking, for they were terribly afraid. The power of God. And Pharaoh sent word, saying, What is this thing that has this day happened in the land of Egypt? And they came and told him all the things from beginning to end, and Pharaoh was alarmed. And he wondered and was greatly afraid. And his fright increased when he heard all these things, and he sent unto Joseph, saying, Thou hast brought unto me the Hebrews to destroy all Egypt. What wilt thou do with this thievish slave? Send him away, and let them go with his brethren, and let us not perish through their evil, even we, you, and all Egypt. And if thou desirest not to do this thing, cast off from thee all my valuable things, and go with them. You're going to have to leave before you let them destroy Egypt, playing your games. And go with them to their land, if thou delightest in it, for they will this day destroy my whole country, and slay all my people. Even all the women of Egypt have miscarried through their screams. See what they have done merely by their shouting and speaking. The two-edged sword, my friend. Moreover, if they fight with a sword, they will destroy the land. You know they will. Now therefore choose that which thou desirest, whether it be me or the Hebrews, whether Egypt or the land of the Hebrews. And they came and told Joseph all the words of Pharaoh, and that he had said concerning him. And Joseph was greatly afraid of the words of Pharaoh. And Judah and his brother were still standing before Joseph, indignant and enraged. And all the sons of Jacob roared at Joseph like the roaring of the sea and its waves. Now, I'm not going to read it all because you need to read it, guys, but I'm going to go to the last 2 verses. This is key. This is Judah talking back to Joseph. They're still kind of arguing. Joseph quite hasn't given in yet. It says, dost thou not know, or hast thou not heard that our father Abraham with his servant Eliezer smote all the kings of Elam with their host in one night? They left not one remaining, and ever since that day our father's strength was given unto us for an inheritance. What? Our father's strength was given unto us for an inheritance, for us and our seed forever. And Joseph answered and said, You speak truth, and falsehood is not in your mouth. For it was also told us that the Hebrews have power, and the Lord their God delighteth much in them. And who then can stand before them? Joseph knew the truth. He was their brother. He made them prove themselves. Beyond a shadow of a doubt, they had sold him. Would they sell their little brother? No. They used the power of God, and they shook Pharaoh from his throne.